There's an old poster out west, as I recall, that said, "Wanted, dead or alive."
He's not Gary Cooper. He's a coward who bushwhacked the American people by exploiting the fear and ignorance engendered in the post-9/11 environment to portray Iraq as a threat to our national security, weapons of mass destruction that would destroy the very society that we live in. The need, therefore, for frontier justice to prevent mushroom clouds from popping up all over American cities. He lied to us. He bushwhacked us.
You know, it's fascinating to talk about the persona and the individual of George W. Bush, and yet at the end of the very dire day that we find ourselves in the midst of, it's really about an entire system that is cranked up for war and profiteering. And I think that's our challenge to, in a sense, go beyond the personalities.
You know, you think of past elections, Michael Dukakis, you think of him riding around in the tank looking like Snoopy, you think of the Willie Horton ad against him. You don't really think of substantive things because our elections rarely turn anymore on substantive issues. But this is one that really needs to be decided on the substance because our country faces real threats. But these guys are not going after the right threats. They are pursuing a pre-existing agenda under the guise of fighting terrorism that is going to bankrupt our country, that is going to put our troops at risk, and that is going to make the terrorist threat to us grow over time instead of diminish.
I would reject categorically the idea that to oppose the Bush agenda or the right wing or the neocon militarism, that somehow opposing that means you're just laying down and saying, come get us, we're just going to be defenseless. That's ludicrous. No one would make that argument.
If he were in charge, he would fight a more sensitive war on terror. America has been in too many wars for any of our wishes, but not a one of them was won by being sensitive.
I am not a pacifist. I think sometimes you need to have police and military action. Of course you do. If somebody is breaking into your house, you call the police and they come and take the criminal away. They go to jail. When the terrorists attacked the United States, I fully supported working with the international community to share intelligence, to capture them and bring them to trial and put them in jail for life. But you don't invade another country just because you don't like the guy. That is breaking international law. And the Bush administration may scoff at international law, but if you act with impunity at that level, it filters down through all levels of society. If people believe that those in power can do whatever they want and not have to pay for it, it affects all of the fabric of society.